Okay, hello everyone. Here we are once again. So I did do a little bit of work tweaking the sky stuff last night and the timing with the lerp, and I'm not completely happy with it. I might keep tweaking it, but right now I am in the process of doing the same thing for the fog. And as you can see, these are all errors because I just copy and pasted it from the previous one. But this works, and this works. So I just got to get the top side working. And then, yeah, there's a couple other things that I need to do, but I'm going to work on this, get the fog system looking good, and then I'll come back to you and talk more about my other plans. Okay, I will see you soon. Hello again. Um, Probably going to take a little break now because it has been a few hours. I did just spend probably the last hour kind of just looking at this grass and trying to figure out with the mip mapping and with the stuff because I've managed to kind of comfortably animate and time the lighting and the fog. But then I realized, the fog needs to be really thick to hide that flickering, and then it just really cuts out our view distance. And I like it. I like to have a good view distance. So there has to be some other solution. So I put the map back on, and then I did what I could to try and reduce the map. And it doesn't look too bad now, but let me show you, and then I will talk about it. So yeah. Great video on YouTube just explaining about, he was talking about rotating an object, and he was talking about how to rotate an object smoothly, so lerping basically. I didn't like the F interp that I was using, the float interpolation. Yeah, you can see this mip mapping. It's kind of gross here, really obvious. Anyway, instead of actually using the lerp node, which uses something called alpha to decide the speed of the lerp, which I couldn't quite figure out, I actually learned all about timelines. And that's great fun, actually. The timelines made it a lot easier because I know right now I have it set so that the day and the night is taking exactly 1 minute for 24 hours. So I'll eventually change that to 60 and leave it at 60. And so all my other numbers with the timelines, oh, that didn't seem quite right. It didn't seem to smoothly transition there, did it? It kind of just jumped. So I might have to go back and have a peek at what was going on. But I did have it all working earlier, so I'm sure it won't take very long to figure out why. From night to day, it kind of did a little jump because I was playing around with some of the curves and stuff, trying different shapes of curves. So I might have played around and forgot to, yeah, see, it did it again. But anyway, you can kind of get the idea. Basically, the light should smoothly come up and down, and the darkness should, the fog rather, the dark fog should smoothly become quite dense and then become not so dense and also turn to a sort of grey color around the same time that the day and night starts happening. And it is very dark. But yeah, that's... I wonder why it's not doing it now. It was doing it earlier, and it's done it way off at the wrong time as well. Well, that's embarrassing. How about you give me 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll come back and show you how it's supposed to look. I was being too complicated. I had to simplify things. It basically works now. I switched the fog off, and I actually reduced the day to be 30 seconds. So here's the first day. And then, yeah, it just loops now. It's using a single timer. I was actually having different timers. And I realized I could just do all of it in one timer because it's a 24-hour time. And I can just have it go up and then go down and loop. So that's what I'm doing now. So I don't have any strange interactions. I don't have any necessity to reset timers because I just have a single timer playing on loop. So I'm actually pretty happy. that that annoying problem that took me almost half an hour to fix was actually fixed by simplicity. Yes, I feel that there is something so wonderful about simplicity. I feel so foolish that I had made it so complicated in the first place. So that's working the way I was expecting. I'm going to come back to you very soon because, yeah, uh, I have something else I need to do, a few things, and then basically I need to take a break because I've been on here for like 4 hours or so. No, actually, I think it's been about 2.5 hours, so not too bad. But I need to take a break and come back. So thank you. Okay, I'm getting pretty tired, getting pretty sick. No, I don't really mind. It's okay. Um, it's more that I'm kind of frustrated about the texturing on the grass kind of looking strange, and I don't really want to use the fog. So just keeping it nice and clear. Everything kind of works as expected, so the sun goes up and the light comes up. It's nice and clear, no fog. And then when the sun goes down, it'll get reasonably dark. Reasonably dark, not too dark though, because we need the player to still be able to see. We have a nice moon over there. So, when I said I was feeling kind of tired, kind of sick, I was sort of referring to the endless tweaking that I've been doing all day today on just getting this working and thinking about the fog and thinking about the frustration with the map. So I got to move on. I got to take care of some other business. So, tomorrow, what are we doing? Tomorrow, I'm going to begin to implement the main menu system and the pause menu system so that I can start a new game and be on the main menu, which will actually be, I would like it to be, in the same scene, just a different camera. And when we begin the game, we will spawn a player into that world. I'm thinking like Half-Life 2. I'm thinking those games where the main menu is sort of an interactive background where you can see a level with the NPCs moving and the light, the sky changing and all that. Obviously, it's not going to be changing this quickly. I need to slow all of this down, so it'll take about 1 hour to do a full cycle. But for the debugging purposes, for the tweaking and adjusting, I don't want to have to wait more than say a whole minute. So right now it only takes 30 seconds to do a full round. So yeah, tomorrow main menu and pause menu, and once those are done, or at least done to a point that I'm reasonably satisfied with them, it will be the save system, because we already have a bit of dynamic stuff going on here. We have the day and night, we have the player moving around, and ideally we should be able to save those things. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to save the sky, because this is the flaw of using assets made by other people that already completely work out of the box, is when you want to do things with them, like say save something, it's not as straightforward as you'd think. But when you make it yourself, you just have a much deeper understanding of what's going on, and so being able to save it is a lot easier. Unless, of course, the asset that you have is exceptionally well documented, then maybe it's not so bad. And I haven't looked at all at what kind of stuff is out there for Unreal, but so far I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like this. I'll just show you how simple it is now, because it was quite complicated last time I showed you, so we won't look at timed fog, because I don't think I really need to bother with timed fog, to be honest. I just need to get that mip mapping texture looking good. But where is it? There it is. So tiny now, so clean, so easy to read. So I don't know if this is really the best way to be doing it, but basically we play this thing on a loop, and this is the line, this is the name of the graph, and so the light comes up and then the light goes down. So we have morning, afternoon, evening, night. And yeah, so this is this, and this is this. So I don't know if I even need this, to be honest. I could probably just go this is this, right? Let's try that real quick. Let's just see if that works, because I think it should basically produce the same outcome. But this is what I like, is if I could use as few nodes as possible so that it becomes extremely easy to read. I really like simple solutions. So some things are not that simple. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same so far. Some things are not so simple, necessarily. They have to get a little bit complicated. But the more simple it is, the better. It's just easier to understand what's going on. So even a really complex thing like saving doesn't actually need to be that complex. Saving itself is quite a simple process to describe to someone. If you were to explain what saving and loading is, you could do it. It's not that difficult to explain what's happening, and therefore the actual process should vaguely reflect that. You know, you should be able to say this is doing this, and then this is doing this, and not having it be really kind of in a roundabout way. Like, instead of getting directly there, we go there in a very which is what I'm doing. You know, you saw how it was yesterday with the finterp thing, but I am learning, and so I did enjoy what I was doing yesterday, and I enjoy what I'm doing today, and hopefully I'll enjoy what I'm doing tomorrow, because I'm going to move on. I'm not going to keep tweaking my sky or get really annoyed about my bitmap noise on my low resolution textures. I'm not going to get obsessed with that stuff. I'm just going to get obsessed with UI and transitioning between the main menu and the game itself. And we should be able to press a button which will take us up to a pause menu where all of this will pause and we can, you know, go back to the main menu. Pretty basic stuff. And once I'm finished with that, saving and loading the game, again, pretty basic stuff, but we'll be well on our way towards building a little thing where we'll just need to start. I like leaving all the level design to the very end, if you can't tell. But also I like writing solutions for level design. I like to think about level design in a sort of programming way as well. So we'll have to have a look at that and see what we can come up with. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow.